Hey everyone, Pressito here. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about SRC20s. And as you can see here by the prices, they've just skyrocketed. And there's multiple reasons for that, which I'm going to be covering in this video. But before that, I just want to go through OpenStamp and StampScan, the two main exchanges for now for SRC20s, and talk about some of their updates and how things are looking. So you can see OpenStamp had a complete revamp in terms of their logo, layout, and just how everything looks. And I must say it looks really, really cool. Also shows you in your wallet your total asset value. And you can see here nicely the prices, how it's gone up. As you can see, Kevin and Sam have just mooned an insane amount, which is really amazing to see. Kevin, floor price at the moment, at the time of making this video, 31 sats, with the volume really blowing up. 2.24 Bitcoin on OpenStamp. And if we go to StampScan, we can see here their volume in one day is also almost 1 Bitcoin. Stamp, huge volume, almost 20 Bitcoin and almost 6 Bitcoin on StampScan. So that's just huge numbers. You can see market cap for Kevin's around 10 million. Stamp is around 30 million at the moment. And Sato is also blowing up nicely. Bobo, Viva, Pizza, I believe will all catch up. You can see there's some volume coming in for Bobo and Viva and Pizza as well. So that's all really bullish. And I do believe once Kevin and Stamp solidify themselves as the blue chips of SRC20s, that people will start looking at altcoins in SRC20s, so to speak. And I really believe Bobo, Viva and Pizza are going to be right up there, as well as Sato, since those are the ones that were some of the earliest in the beginning. Also, something to note about SRC20s is that the floor is really thin. So for the price to pump significantly, it doesn't take that much, since there aren't that many sellers actually. For example, Bobo, you can see here, 38 sats. This is up 900% overnight. And that's because there were just a few sells for few sats. And those, once they were filled up, just 0.04 Bitcoin pumped at 900%. So you can see, imagine the volume of Bobo goes to 1 Bitcoin. Then it's just going to skyrocket. And that goes for Viva, Pizza, Sato, and all of them as well. And Stamp volume is still not even that high, only 17 Bitcoin. I'm sure this can go much higher. And with that, the floor price can really skyrocket. So it's really exciting to see everything performing so well. And I really think it's well deserved. And there's a lot of things in the works for SRC20s, and I'm going to be covering why I think, or it's kind of obvious, why it pumped so crazily. First up is this tweet by Luke. He says here, inscriptions are exploiting a vulnerability in Bitcoin Core to spam the blockchain, and Bitcoin Core has since 2013 allowed users to set a limit on the size of extra data in transactions they relay or mine. By obfuscating their data as program code, inscriptions bypass this limit. And this bug was recently fixed in Bitcoin Knots version 25.1. It took longer than usual due to his workflow being severely disrupted at the end of last year. And V24 was skipped entirely. And Bitcoin Core is still vulnerable in the upcoming V26 release. And it will be fixed before V27. This basically says that BRC20's and inscriptions are going to be pruned. Potentially, obviously it's not confirmed, but 1.8 million views, you can see this is getting a lot of attention. And that's what we've been saying since the beginning. And that's the whole point of why SRC20s are so popular and why they have so much potential, is because they cannot be pruned. As I tweeted here, they exist forever. And if the Bitcoin devs update, as you can see, to V27, SRC20s will still be there, and no matter which update, it'll still be there. So that's why SRC20s are so pro, and why BRC20s and inscriptions are quite risky. I mean, I'm still a fan of them, but there is always that risk that they will get pruned. And that's why a lot of the hype is switching over to SRC20s, which actually Star, which is the CEO of OKX, tweeted about. He said, will it force the Bitcoin inscription community to migrate to SRC20 or Lightning Network Taproot asset? Anyway, OKX will continue building to support Bitcoin ecosystem, which also makes you ask whether SRC20s are going to be listed on OKX, since he is interested in them and tweeting about them. So that is really bullish for SRC20s as well. If they get listed on OKX, that would be really huge and introduce a whole lot of new liquidity. Obviously, not a lot of people know how to operate SRC20s in terms of buying and selling. So with OKX, it'll be really simple and centralized exchange, and it'll be easy for them to buy and sell. So that'll be a whole lot of new liquidity coming to SRC20s. And you can see he also understands that SRC20s are non-prunable, and he assumes that the BRC20 community will migrate over to SRC20. So that's very pro and super bullish for SRC20s. And lastly, there's also talks about Gate.io potentially listing stamps, SRC20, Samp, Kevin, and so on. And I believe they were in talks with some of the devs in the SRC20 community. So that's also really exciting. So those are the main reasons that have resulted in this huge pump. And I still think it's got leg for growth. And especially considering if BRC20s do actually get pruned, people are going to need something else on Bitcoin, and SRC20s is that. And also the SRC20 community is really incredible, super active, super passionate, and involved in the community and helping to develop SRC20s. Actually, SRC20 is almost fully community developed in terms of all these new platforms and that's all made by the community who are wanting to improve SRC20. So that's all amazing to see, and that's really what's pushing this growth as well. The community is really, really amazing. So this is my SRC20 update video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Give me a follow, like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter and Telegram. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.